Hello, and welcome to part 10. So, hopefully you can see what I can see here. So I've gotten everything kind of straightened out, but if you just kind of carefully watch that screen, you can see those vertical lines kind of have a wave going through them. This is what I was mentioning last night, so that's something I need to look into, I think, here. Other than that, it seems to be okay. The centering rings were kind of a pain in the butt to use. They didn't want to spin very easily. Not to mention that they're they're on a springy thing that clamps onto the neck of the tube and sits up against the yoke cap, which I have to deal with too because it's falling apart. But yeah, so here's our little mystery here, these wavy lines. Didn't just do it, I mean it did it on the DVD, but it's also doing it here. Let me see if I can I'm afraid that the that looks kind of crappy. I'm afraid that the video camera might. Let's brighten this one here. That the video camera might edit it out. I don't know if you can see there. Yeah, I can see it. Anyway, so that's something to look into. So I'm going to have to go look up how to deal with that, I think. And looks to me like it's off that way a bit too. It seemed thought it seemed centered there, but I guess not. I don't know. Those wavy lines are trippy. Anyway, so let me look into that and I'll be back in the next segment. Well, hello. I thought I would record the next segment since it's been about 10 days. Well, I continue to be eluded by this noise in the picture. So, I've been talking to my friend Joe in Texas. I kind of wish I was there still because he would have come over and probably found it in an hour or so. But anyway, so we've got noise in the picture and we're not 100% sure that it's not coming from the power, and we're not 100% sure it isn't. Well, it's in the signal path regardless, but a couple of things that have been done is I've tacked in a couple of extra electrolytics. That's actually helped. Swapping out the tubes has not helped because when I'm putting in these stronger tubes, it's making the wave bigger. So what I've done is replaced all the tubes and been working on it, trying to eliminate it with fresh, strong tubes. So a couple of things. We've been messing around. Like I said, tacking in a couple of extra electrolytics has helped. What else did I try? We were paying some attention to around the vertical or the horizontal section here because it has to be adjusted all the way out in order to get the picture right. So we've been messing around a bit with the values of this. I keep wanting to say condenser. I guess that's okay, but that capacitor there. Another thing I've discovered is that it does not like. I'm having a problem with the capacitors, the film caps that I've been using, and I've been swapping them out and discovering what's working and what's not. The set's been off for a few hours, and I can show you what it's doing with these film caps in it, particularly this one in the vertical. I've tried 3 different types that are different kind of different manufacturer. I've tried reversing them and tried finding the outside foil and reversing them as well. That has helped somewhat. It just seems to be a little bit everywhere. Anyway, so let me just show you here what's going on with the vertical, which since it's sideways is going to be horizontal to you, but you'll see down here the vertical will get all wavy, and then as the cap forms, it figures itself out. It levels itself out. Another problem, those ETR caps that a lot of us are using actually were the worst. At one point, I swapped one of those in there, and it looked like a sine wave coming up at the bottom here. The whole thing was distorted, and then it would immediately come back down. And I tried 2 different ones just to see if maybe it was just that one cap, and it does do it, but it's got to be really, really, really cold, off for 5 or 6 hours in order to see the ripple. Now watch it not happen. But anyway, let me go ahead and turn this on. I think you should be able to see. Okay. Well, it's not so bad this time. It hasn't been as bad with this cap, but as you can see, then it'll level itself out. And the picture just has all sorts of issues, especially on this side. So I think what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try some I guess they're CDE now, but I'm going to try the real orange drops. So I've got some 715Ps coming. Those are the fatter round ones, whereas the 716Ps are the squishier ones. But the 715s are the old school construction. So they specifically say they're good for high pulse applications, but then again, so did those green gum chiclet caps that I was using here, and those proved not to be very good either. So at any rate, that's where I am. I just thought I would do a quick update. I've tried moving this to different circuits, by the way, power circuits, because also when it is very susceptible to power, dirty power, because let's see, the other morning I was working on it, and every time the hot plate for the coffee maker kicked in, and it's on the same circuit, the picture would go dull wiggly, and then it was wavy. So also when the refrigerator compressor is running, it doesn't like that. But as you can see from the last picture, it's easier to see in this one, having all the extra electrolytic cap in there does make the waves a lot less noticeable. I'm going to turn that off because... So it does need some more adjustments, because every time I change a component, everything gets off. But as you can see, it's not quite as wavy. So anyway, I'm going to do that for a bit, because I had to order... I ordered the lacquer, the toner for the cabinet work, and they only order every 2 weeks, and of course I missed the order by a day. So that'll be ordered next week, so I should have it by the end of the week, and I can start working on the cabinet. I was also told by Joe, after he looked over the schematic, that, you know, this was 1952, and Hoffman was not RCA, and it's not a very complex design, and there isn't a whole lot of filtering in it. The one other thing that I did, just in case, is there is a 500 picofarad cap, mica cap in here. That's pretty important for it's the horizontal feedback. So when I made my order, I did order a 1000 volt 500 microfarad mica cap. I'm going to try to swap that out just in case. And other than that, if the orange drops don't do much, and I did have to order 500 volt caps, I'm going to go ahead and keep those tacked in. And that's about as far as I'm going to get with this, because, you know, the TV's not going to be used that much anyhow, and I'm kind of tired of throwing money at it. I even considered getting a choke to put in between the power and the main dropping resistor, and even though that's only 30 bucks and I have plenty of space to tack it in there, I don't want to go that far right now. That doesn't mean in the future I won't turn this into a Franken set. But anyway, I babbled long enough, and I just again wanted to give you guys an update. And those orange drops will be here tomorrow, so hopefully in a few days I'll have another update. But again, as you can see, once it warms up, those lines are nice and straight on the bottom, but still I have a pin cushion issue up here, and of course there's no pin cushion adjustment. It's fine down here, just not fine up here. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.